what happened. I went out last night, and I got his stuff. When I woke up this morning, should have seen what I had in the bed with me. He jumped up out of bed, pulled his hand down his eye, looked at me like a guy in Canada that come out on his meat. He said, so this time we're way off yet. We got all alone. Things was going just right. She jumped out of the car. She put her hand down her eye. She looked at me like a dime box jumped out of my cheek. And she said,
Hasil Adkins is, depending on what your perspective is, a rockabilly hero, cult favorite, or an alcoholic pest.
Who's greater, Elvis or the Haze?
Haze is. I mean, I'm a Elvis fan, big fan. And right now, I don't believe he's even dead, but Haze has got him beat.
He drove off a cliff at 100 miles an hour. He'd get girls in the car and back them into telephone poles and ram them and, you know, have sex in the middle of the road, just, you know, because that's what was going on. And
he said, do you know a Hasil Adkins? So I just started laughing. I said, yeah, the band, the one-man band. And he said, this guy says he's a rock and roll star in Europe. And he was laughing. I said, yeah, I think that's probably true.
Everywhere he would play, the girls would go wild over. No matter where it was at, where he parked, or where he played, they were there. They went wild. They screamed. You couldn't hear anything.
Hasil's the wildest man there ever was. I mean, forget that girl in Stranger Than Paradise that walks around saying that Screamin' Jay Hawkins, he's a wild man. Screamin' Jay can't hold a candle to Hasil, and Hasil's hardly even trying.
Rock and roll tonight. Hey! Whoa, baby.
Hasil's whole concept when he first heard stuff on the radio was the announcer would go, this is Lefty Frizzell, or this is Hank Williams, you know, but they didn't say like this is Hank Williams and the Drifting Cowboys. Hasil didn't picture, you know, 5 guys behind him. I'm talking when he's a real little kid. So when he first started learning, he'd say, well, that's Hank Williams, and Hank Williams is playing this and this and this. So, you know, he just figured Hank Williams was playing everything. I got to play everything. Thank goodness he wasn't into like the Glenn Miller Orchestra or, you know.
That's it. My name is Irene Jean Dolan. I live on Camp Creek in Bub Julian. I've been here for 45 years. My age is 62. I was born in Seco, West Virginia, and Hasil Adkins is my baby brother. He started to beating on his guitar, his water bucket for a guitar. My daddy, he said, son, go out behind Chimney Corner and beat on that. Said, you're driving me crazy with it. So he goes to Chimney Corner and he beats and beats. That's where he practiced. He stayed, and that's where he learned. And he listened to Hank Williams and Jimmy Rogers and all them legends. And he thought they were doing that themselves, which they was not, which he thought they was. So he took it from there and he started.
Well, when I went to California in 1956, the fella that backed Frankie Avalon, Richie Valens, Fabian, and well, there was a lot more of them. He had them, they was real big in L.A., but they hadn't spread across the country, just local stuff. But they was doing real good, and they knew they was going to go over, which they did go over. So I auditioned for him and everything. He said, well, give me your phone number and where you were staying at and where you live at or what. And I give that to him. So I ended up waiting. I waited around a month or something like that. And nobody showed up. And I was staying over the other people, and I didn't like that. So I just opted to come back home. I left out at 10 o'clock at night out of L.A., coming back home. And about 3 or 4 days after I got here, well, I got a letter from Whitey, the person I was staying with, the man and his wife, that he come up the next morning. I left at 10 o'clock at night. He come up around 10 o'clock the next morning. He said, what's Hasil? I'm ready now to take him down and start making, you know, posters and all this and that and cutting the record and start promoting him, see what I could do with him.
When Hasil got back from California, his buddies out there who he was staying with were saying, well, this talent scout's looking for you, and that talent scout's looking for you, you know. But, you know, Hasil was already back. I guess he might have reconsidered and even went back out to California if he could have done it. I think at the time, you know, like I said, he was interested in he was doing country music. And, you know, I think that's what he was trying to slot into. Like, he was on the town hall party with Patsy Cline and stuff, and Collins kids and things. But when Hasil got back to West Virginia, almost immediately, he got in this accident that still hurts his back to this day. He can't stay in the car a long time. Apparently, with 100 miles an hour, he went over a cliff and just cracked up. His best friend died. He got hurt. He was laid up for months. And, you know, that slowed him down. That's what slowed Carl Perkins' career down. The same kind of deal.
Well, I missed it by just hours because I left town at 10 o'clock at night. He come 9 o'clock next morning. So I come on back here and stayed here. My daddy ended up dying, and I had to stay with my mother there for the next, 25 to 30 years with her. Well, I didn't really want to walk off and leave her, you know. But I just kept writing songs and playing around locally and all this and that, you know. And sending tapes and records throughout the whole world, you know, hoping somebody would pick up one of them or something. So, I guess that's it.
Ready? Look here, mama. I'm going away, can't you see? Look here, mama. Going away, can't you see? 'Cause she don't love me. She don't love me like she did.
I was in the prosecutor's office in Boone County, and I encountered Hasil when he had some minor scrapes with the law, and I was interested in Hasil because he seemed very pleasant and really bizarre. He was a different sort of person, so I asked around about Hasil, and I was immediately inundated with Hasil Adkins stories. He was something of a local phenomenon, a local legend. He was viewed as extraordinarily eccentric.
The first time I met Hasil, I got a call from the U.S. magistrate. Hasil had been indicted in the Southern District of West Virginia Federal Court for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And the magistrate called me and told me that he had a case for me, and I said I was too busy to do it. He told me that I was being called upon to represent a guy who lived in a $40 a month shack in Boone County, West Virginia, but who was a rock star in Europe. And I immediately assumed that the guy was crazy. And so I said, well, you're exactly right, Your Honor. This man needs...
Yeah, I love you, mama. Lord, you know I love you so. And I wanna tell you, baby, honey, don't you know I love you? Yeah, yes, I love you so. Hey, whoa, woo, woo. Yay!
And Jesus Christ, he walked in with 4 albums that had all been done in Europe in the last year. And it was wild. I mean, and all these fan letters from all over the world with checks in them for pictures of him and autographs and stuff, joining the Hasil Adkins fan club.
Well, I want to explain. I get a lot of letters from fans all over the world, and they all want to know what the hunch is. Well, hunch is a dance. It ain't, well, I guess it concerns sex, but it's still just a dance. It ain't something that you would consider bad. It's just going where you want to take it, you know. And I think it's really one of the best, I think it's the best dance they ever had. I mean, out of all the dances they ever had, I think it's the best one. And everybody seems to like it and everything, but nobody don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I don't know, I'll tell you the truth.
I just don't know how to answer that.
Oh.
Yes, everybody.
The hunch.
The hunch, as I understand it, it has been explained to me, it's a dance that's been developed by Hasil.
A dirty dance.
You love me, baby, I love you. Come on, pretty baby, let's hunch that thing, shake that thing. Shake that thing, shake that thing, bird that thing. Let's take a picture of that thing. I want a big one. I want a great big one. I want an 8 for 10. Man, I want to see what that thing is. Shake that thing, wobble, bird that thing, let's hunch that thing. Let's hunch that thing. Shake that thing, hunch that thing.
People talk about my songs like they're bad and everything, like to do the split, I mean, well, to name them, just show me your split, that's new one. Well, you'll hear them sooner or later. But, and like shake that thing, hunch that thing, let me take a picture of that thing. Look,
You love me, baby, I love you.
I want an 8 for 10 of that thing. If you get a bigger one, send it to me. But anyway, what I aim to say, but shake that thing could be anything. You could be shaking your hand, shaking your foot. Well, you could be doing this, rocking the baby street. So you can be anything, which way you want to take it. If you got a bad mind, you want to hunch or something like that, I can't help it.
Okay, I've dealt with Hasil off and on for probably the last 12 years. I've arrested him for discharging firearms from a vehicle at road signs. I've been to his home several times for supposedly holding his girlfriend hostage, when in fact she was a willing participant, but she would just want us to get her out there and take her home to her family just to ride.
Hasil had gotten into this scrape because his girlfriend, his husband, let me get this right, his girlfriend's husband had thrown a brick through Hasil's windshield of his truck, and this apparently festered in Hasil a while. And he and 2 other guys went out, apparently roaring drunk, to this guy's house. Well, Hasil denied that he had been intentionally drinking. But they go out to this guy's trail where he is, and it's absolutely, these 3 drunks go out to have a shootout with this guy with a sawed-off shotgun, and one of the guys is too drunk to get out of the car, so he doesn't end up being charged. But they get out, and the boyfriend's 12-year-old daughter comes out and sees him and says, "Daddy, don't go outside. There's men out there with a gun." But in true what I like to think of as true Boone County style, he immediately goes outside. They're shooting at him. They're so far away with a sawed-off shotgun that they can't do any damage. But he runs back inside and breaks the windows out of the trailer and begins returning fire with, I think, a 22 and a 12-gauge shotgun, with his girlfriend reloading for him. The only person that has any sense in this whole thing is the 12-year-old girl who grabs her younger siblings and takes out the back door and gets the hell out of the way. But they have an incredible, like 30 or 40 shots are exchanged. And nobody gets seriously hurt. All four people have to go to the hospital, and their total medical bills, with like 30 or 40 shots exchanged, the total medical bill for all four of them was $190.
We were at the Price Hill Grill one night, and he was playing Donahoe Boogie. Donahoe was state police in Boone County at the time. And he was singing Donahoe Boogie, and the fan, they had a wall fan. He kept watching the wall fan and getting slower and slower with his music, and pulled out a shotgun and shot the wall fan out.
Why did you do that?
The fan wouldn't turn right.
Here's a good part. Let me read this first paragraph. All by his lonesome, this transatlantic Boone County court legend was bashing out animal rhythms that all but took your limbs hostage. As he battered his guitar to within a beat of its life, Adkins' feet pounded bass drums and high hat pedals. A small cowboy hat, anchored securely with a chin strap, hung on for the ride as Adkins whooped and hollered like a wounded hellcat. The only thing missing was a toy holster and gun.
Duncan, please don't take me to jail. Yeah, Duncan, please don't take me to jail. If you put me in your car, I know I'm going to jail. Well, Duncan, please don't take me downtown. Yeah, Duncan, please don't take me downtown. If you put me in your car, I know I'm going to jail. You're my blue star. Oh, yes, you are. You're shining so bright. Put me heavens tonight. And I love you. Oh, yes, I do. Love you. You're my blue star. Hey, baby, yes, you are. Well, it's a Donahoe boogie, make it boogie, boogie everywhere. It's a Donahoe boogie, make it boogie, boogie everywhere. It's a Donahoe boogie, make it boogie, boogie everywhere. You go out on a highway, this is what you hear. Down a whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. It's a down a whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. Oh, when he walked in the door, you better sit there. If you don't, you are gonna go to jail. It's a down a whole boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. It's a Donahoe boogie, make you boogie, boogie everywhere. Hey! Hey! Punchy, witchy, wicky, wacky, wicky, wacky, wicky, wacky, hunch that thing. Wicky, wacky, wicky, wacky, hit the, hey! Punchy, witchy, 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 come on! Witchy, witchy, hey, I got it, man. Punchy, witchy, wicky, wacky. I got a girl ain't touchy what you wiggly wacky blue. Ho! Whoa!
I'm talking to her. You don't push me back. I'm talking to her. Okay? I'm talking. You don't push me back. I'm talking to her. You don't push me back. Okay, I'm telling her I don't wear such a false tape for nobody. Well, you wait. Okay. I'm just telling what she lost me tonight.
Get this thing out of here. Oh, Hasil! Hey! It's a deep out of rock. Whoa! Deep out of rock. Here's a deep out of rock. Deep out of rock, 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 rock. Yeah! Well, you can do it in the morning. You can do it at night. But I want to tell you, baby, you gotta do it just right when you do the deep out of rock. Yeah, deep out of rock. A deep out of rock. Rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it. I'm lucky here, baby, why don't you get it right and do it all night? Hey, deep out of rock. Deep out of rock. Deep out of rock. What more? Here we go. Deep out of rock. Yay! You can do it in the morning, you can do it at night. Hey, tell me, baby, make me feel just right. Hey, deep out of rock. Yay, deep out of rock. Do the deep out of rock. Yay, deep out of rock. Oh, that's what they call a deep out of rock. Hey, hey, hey. Woo!
The most important thing I can say about Hasil's music is a lot of performers play music so that the audience hears it and they applaud. They go home and they forget about the music. They forget about the concert. You know, 2 or 3 days later, you know, yeah, it was a nice concert, but they didn't hear it. Hasil plays so that when you go home, you remember it, and you remember it for a long time to come.
Come on, baby, don't you be late. I want your head, I want it tonight. Want your head at 8:30. Have it on my wall about 10:30. Yeah, come on home, baby, I want that head. Come on home, baby, I want that head. I want your head hanging on my wall tonight. I want to say something about the police here in Boone County, the whole West Virginia, and all over the world. That I really do. I've been in a lot of trouble myself, but I really do appreciate the job that they're doing. Especially here in Boone County, they have been good to me. From the state police, the federal, on down to the county, all of them has really been good to me. And I also want to say that I'm looking for a good music lawyer, somebody that really took to music schooling and everything. Because I've got a lot of companies that done me wrong, took my songs, put them out, no rights, no nothing. And I like to get a hold of a good lawyer, I mean a good music lawyer. I've been hunting for years now trying to get one. And sooner or later I'll find one. And I want to know, if they want to contact me, they can get my address. That's my name, Hasil Adkins, Post Office Box 668, Madison, West Virginia. That's MADSON, WVA 25130. And they can find me like that. And I'll get back in contact with them. Thank you.